Welcome aboard for another video.
Thanks, Conductor Keith.
So I just parked here. Now what, Terry, you say, are you up to today? What could it possibly be? Huh. Now what is that?
Well, I'm in Ottawa, Canada's national capital, and I'm going to get on a train.
So one of the great things about Ottawa Station are these extremely nice models of steam locomotives. Oops, sorry. So we go down the escalator and we're going under the tracks. Here's a beautiful spiral staircase. And here in Ottawa Station. All right. Kingston and Toronto is that way. Montreal, Quebec is this way. I'm on the new Siemens Venture Trainset, just like the one across there. So, yeah. Brand new seats, everything brand new, nice and comfy.
And there's Milton Road. I take my son down that road twice a week on the way to Orleans to Taekwondo. Now we're about to cross Frank Kenny Road, a very familiar location for us. This is a live screen recording I did with my iMaps. This gives you an indication of how fast we were going. I was asked to be an emergency safety person in the event of an accident and crew incapacitation, and they showed me how to operate the doors and all that stuff. Well, of course, you know, I hated that, right? Now we're going to pass through where we live in Castleman, Ontario. We're going to cross over the bridge in the top right of the picture and move down past the station you see by the blue sign. You can just see my wife, son, and dog walking down the road there. They intended to be up by the track to take a video of the train passing, but the train was actually a couple minutes early.
Nous ferons un arrêt à Alexandria d'environ 10 minutes.
So we are on what's called the Alexandria subdivision, and it's named, you know, the town Alexandria is right in the center of it. And that's before we head on to the tracks of the Kingston subdivision. But the announcement, I caught the French announcement, the English one was in front of it, says that we're going to be stopping in 10 minutes in Alexandria. So I'll get a little shot of the station in Alexandria where this subdivision is named after.
We'll pass the Y in this picture. There's one part of the Y. And here's the other part of the Y. 3 minutes after passing that Y, we crossed from Ontario into Quebec. Now we're going to cross the CPKC main line.
We'll be stopping in Cotto in approximately 10 minutes.
We are about to leave the Alexandria subdivision and move on to the Kingston subdivision at Cotto. A locomotive still painted for the old Illinois Central is not something you see every day. And this one hasn't seen the paint shop for decades.
Your attention, please. We've just arrived at Cotto. Last call for Cotto.
We're moving at a good clip now. Now we are approaching the outer suburbia of Montreal.
Your attention, please. We'll be stopping in Dorval in approximately 10 minutes. Si vous vous rendez à l'aéroport international Pierre-Elliott-Trudeau, vous devez descendre à cet arrêt. The Dorval station is the stop for passengers going to Pierre-Elliott-Trudeau International Airport. Pour votre sécurité, nous vous demandons de rester assis jusqu'à ce que le train s'immobilise complètement. N'oubliez pas de récupérer tous vos effets personnels avant de quitter le train. For your safety, we ask that you remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Please be sure to retrieve all personal belongings before leaving the train. Your attention, please. We've just arrived at Dorval. Last call for Dorval.
This is like urban spaghetti.
Votre attention, s'il vous plaît. Nous arriverons à la gare centrale de Montréal dans un peu plus de 10 minutes. Nous vous demandons de rester assis jusqu'à ce que le train s'immobilise complètement. N'oubliez pas de récupérer tous vos effets personnels avant de quitter le train. Veuillez aussi porter une attention particulière à l'espace entre le train et le quai lorsque vous descendez. Les marches au centre du quai entre les lignes jaunes. Les passagers qui poursuivent le voyage avec nous vers Québec sont priés de demeurer assis. Le départ est prévu à 12h30. Au nom de Pierre Canada et de tous les membres de l'équipe, nous sommes ravis de vous avoir accueillis à bord aujourd'hui. Au plaisir de vous servir bientôt. Your attention please, we will be arriving in Montreal Central Station in approximately 10 minutes. We ask that you remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop in the terminal. Please be sure that you have all your personal belongings before leaving the train. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform while exiting and walk in the middle of the platform away from the yellow lines. For passengers continuing this trip on board this train en route to Quebec City, please remain seated. The departure time is scheduled at 12:30. On behalf of Viral Canada and the entire crew, it has been a pleasure having you on board with us today. We look forward to serving you again soon. You're welcome.
We are going to curve around to the left and go up toward the top of this picture. Now this really is not something you see every day. A Grand Trunk Western caboose. This railway was absorbed by CN in 1991. Here the train goes under buildings and underground to reach Central Station.
Votre attention, s'il vous plaît, le départ du train à partir de Montréal vers Québec. Vers Québec est à 12h45. Je crois que je vous ai dit 12h30. Donc, juste pour être certaine, le départ du train de Montréal vers Québec est à 12h45. Merci.
So here I am in the station, the main central station in Montreal. I see that up on the wall there it says O Canada, or a home and native land. And it turns out that if you go all the way around, it's got the words of O Canada up there. It's hard to see from this angle, but the words of O Canada are up there. Neat. And on this side we have the same thing. Well, I mean, the murals are different. They're all about industry. But if you go around, they all have the words of the anthem in French. And the French words of our anthem don't directly translate into English. The French seems to be more patriotic. Well, I have found somewhere to charge my phone. Just off a hall from the train station is this, and it's the head offices. It's the tower building. That's the head offices of CN. So, I've just walked out of the station. There's CN. This is the CN building there. And this goes way up. So I'm just in the streets around the station, and, you know, just poking around downtown Montreal. If I jump through that circle, do you think I'll wind up in an alternate universe? This has always been one of my favorite buildings. I remember going in there as a child with my Uncle Fred.
This is the parkade entrance to the station. And this is the concourse roof that sticks up above ground.
And this is where we just came in on Via Rail until it went underneath the building there.
Here is one of the urban transit trains. Here we see a General Electric P42 DC locomotive, otherwise known as a Genesis locomotive, leading a rake of Bombardier LRC railcars. LRC is a bilingual acronym for light, rapid, comfortable, and in French that's léger, rapide, confortable. Please excuse my French. Pushing at the rear of the train is a General Motors Electro-motive division, F40PH-2. I'm going to end the video with a couple of monuments near the station.
Here we have the monument for the First World War, Second World War, and Korean War. So here we have the Boer War Monument to commemorate the devotion of the Canadians who fell in the South African War and the valor of their commanders. Now this is for my friend Dave in Scotland. Erected by the admirers of Burns.